Board. Board games, board games, it's what I'm talking about. Board games, board games, I'm not gonna shout. I am starting off this streaming with a little bit of singing. And today I'm going to talk about this game. You can't play it while you walk. Thankfully, you can play it while you sing. But that doesn't mean that I will necessarily sing while I'm playing. It is called PLAYSABELL. I am biased and I know it well because it is one that I designed. That's right, this game came from my mind. It is for the L deck. What rhymes with deck? Peck. You could play it whilst giving a peck occasionally to someone who was sitting beside you for some weird reason. Anyway, yeah, this is why I shouldn't keep singing for the entire show. Card games, it's what I'm talking about. Card games, I'm not gonna shout. Hello and good morning, good afternoon, good whatever it is, wherever you are. I am talking about a deck for my L deck. This is episode 319 of Busy Beats and Board Game Blether. I stream at 10 a.m. UK time every day for the next 81 days. And today, what is happening? I am going to be chatting about PLAYSABELL. Now, PLAYSABELL is a game for the L deck. I'll explain it. I'll play it once or twice. While I'm playing it, I'll kind of have a chat about how I made it. I'll probably start off with the intro and cover everything, and then I'll play it, and then I'll cover everything again, and I'll go into a bit more detail. You know, it's a very chilled out game. Honestly, I picked this game to talk about today because, well, firstly, I don't have other games to review because I'm not playing that many right now, but also this is probably the simplest solitaire game I've got. So, if you like word games, if you want something to relax with rather than something to really boggle your mind, then hopefully this will be a game for you. Let's get on with it. Before I talk about it, I'm going to give a couple of regular sections. So first I'll talk about some recent highlights, living life and seeing the sights, recent highlights, playing games and other delights, recent highlights. So my recent highlights are yesterday was Aidan O'Rose, Iranian Year. Had a lovely lunch together. What else? Yeah, that was pretty much it. Went out a couple of times. That was good. Had a not to lie down in the middle of Grayson Road, but kneeling down in the middle of Grayson Road, taking pictures. Like, whoa, this is all, and having a nice walk. That was good. I was really into that. Got back, a quick wash and stuff. Had the family kind of Misa half seen. Yeah, so Happy New Year, everyone. Did I just say boggle? Did I just say if you don't want one to boggle your mind? I might have. I guess I would ask Rob Harper. Hello, Rob, by the way. Yeah, hello to you too. I would have to check my previous video. I might have. I don't remember every single word. But yeah, anyway, we had a lovely food. Choresh de Gourmet Sabzi, had a couple of radishes, had some cereal. I didn't play any board games, but I did play another hour of Life is Strange. I think I'm a very slow player. Well, I know I am a very slow player because I try to look at everything, and still I miss a couple of parts of that. I've missed at least one of the achievements. So I am trying to look at literally everything in the game and solve all the puzzles, but it's possible that maybe I went round the wrong paths for some of the things. I don't know, and didn't manage to help the wee thing. I felt quite bad, and I was really tempted at one point to look up game facts, but I was like, no, I'm going to at least make it to the end on my first go. But yeah, Life is Strange. I'm enjoying that. That's nothing to do with board games. That's video games. Anyway, if you're watching that, what have you been up to? And let me quickly do the questionably quick questions. I'll open this up for just 1 minute before I get onto the main topic. And questionably quick questions. Where am I? What time is it? It is 10:06 a.m. UK time. Where local time, where I am in Glasgow. I am on the third story of a building, and I am at my childhood desk, let's say. It's a messy desk, as you can see by the fact that I didn't manage to get all the pencils and pens out of the shot. Yeah, that's how messy it is, I'm not going to lie. I'm slightly embarrassed by that. But it's good enough to show you this game. And so, yeah, let me get onto the main topic. And feel free to... Sorry, let me get onto the main topic. There we go. Feel free to comment, ask questions, fun like, follow, and please, if you're not already following it, do go and, oh yeah, that's where you get the rules, but also go to twitter.com/ALL_tech. And hello, Dutch Yoda. It's lovely to see you. And Rob has not been up to much, but did have a good meeting with their mentee last night. He has just started pitching his game. Awesome. I hope that you are excellent. I hope that you are managing to give some of your excellent advice, as I'm sure you are. And hello, legends. It is lovely to see you too. So let me carry on. This is where you would find the rules for this and many other LDEC games. But you don't necessarily need to watch it read it, because I'm going to tell you about PLAYSABELL right now. So, what is PLAYSABELL? PLAYSABELL is a quick game for the LDEC. It's a solo game. It's a one-player game. This started up, and so first, before I start, I need to say I am incredibly biased. This is a review, but it's more going to be like an overview, like a fact sheet, like a discussion, me talking about how I made it. I'm going to talk about how it plays. I will actually play it, because even though my mind is mush, I had some trouble sleeping, I'm not going to lie. But it's simple enough that I can play it, and it's all about the three-letter words, which is a nice change of pace. But yeah, I am biased. I made it. If you want to play it as well, you can buy a deck from stuffbybigcartel.com. You cannot currently buy any physical decks. This is out of stock. I'm very sorry. I will bring this typeface back into stock one day in the not too distant future. But for now, I am working on the next typeface, which is... Oh my gosh, I shouldn't put it there. The next typeface is going to be categorical. Here is a letter A for categorical. Anyway, so hopefully that excuses myself from being so biased. And Rob, like, I'm not keeping an eye on you. I mean, this is a private thing between you and your mentee. I'm sure it's excellent though, because you seem like a pretty excellent person. So there we go. So yeah. Let's start with how I made it. So it's all started when I got the first ever edition of the LDEC, not this one, but the one in a little tuck box with 2 trees. And I thought, okay, what am I going to play? I didn't have anyone with me. I couldn't play Wibble or Grabble, or I really wanted to play a game with the cards when I just got a deck of the cards. I was like, yeah, come on, let me play something. And maybe the first game that I ever played with the LDEC, once it was actually properly printed, was a brand new game. I laid out some cards in a grid and I was thinking, okay, maybe I can, one at a time, I'll put the deck there. Can I, okay, that's marginally better. Okay, I'll take a card and I'll put it down anywhere. Maybe I have to make a 2-letter word. Maybe I have to make a 3-letter word. This was back in 2017, around May, I want to say, just before UK Games Expo. I managed to have something that was relatively interesting, and then I took it to Playtest UK, got 1 or 2 other people to play it whilst I observed, got a bit of feedback, and then I realised, hey, wait a minute, just focusing on 3-letter words, that's simple enough. It's not too restrictive. Let's just stick with 3-letter words. And that's pretty much what the game is all about. So let me actually remove the name tags so you can see a wee bit better. So let's explain how it's played. It starts off 9 cards, 3x3 grid. One at a time, you pick up a card. This has to make a word. The word has to run left to right or top to bottom. You can't go diagonally, you can't go backwards. It just has to be a word running left to right or... Now, I'm going to play this on easy mode, the default thing. So I see immediately I could go air, A-I-R, boom. And then I could go has, H-A-S, that's a word. What you need to do is to get 5 cards on each pile. If you get 5 cards on a pile, then that pile is completed. You need to complete every pile to win the game. And there's 48 cards in the deck, which means that you've got 3 extra cards. So you're allowed to discard 3 cards as you go along. Let me actually change the view slightly. There we go. So another I. Well, I could go air. That doesn't seem sib. I'm going to double check this. I believe that's sib, short for sibling. I've got Collins Dictionary. Is S-I-B. Yep. Short for sibling, exactly. Okay. I will put it there. Has sg s So the difference between the easy mode and the difficult mode is that the easy mode allows you to put letters on top of the same letters. The difficult mode doesn't let you do that. So let's go for had or has, and let's go for dib. Dib, I think that's a word, like I'm going to dibs on that. Let me double check. Dib, yep. Oh, it's according to Collins, it's not about having dibs on something, it's just about dibbing and dabbing. Like dib dab, but which oh, so let's go with dow, dig. Yeah, let's go with dig. Let's try and oh, boom. So because I put the AR, you've got to really, it's going to be the hardest generally, I find, to with the middle ones, you quite often want to get the vowels. With the outside ones, quite often you've got a consonant. Yes, you can have little things like art or arc or R. There you go. You want to be sure to sort of soy. There you go. Try and equalize the piles a wee bit. Did. D-I-D. Rid. Let's get rid of some of these cards and hopefully we will not. Ace. Boom. Okay, so everything's got at least 2 on it. I feel like I'm equalizing these piles relatively well. And I just realized you can't quite see. That's weird. So if I put it that view, you can see a wee bit more of the cards. Let's stick with that one then. Aim. I could go with that one. Yep. I've got a feeling that once this is locked, I need to really once you put the fifth card down, you need to think really carefully about what that fifth card is. G, A, I. Oh, I could just go R, but then that's. Am I happy with R as the final thing? Let's try it. So because that's my fifth card, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and I put the fifth on top just to remind myself that is finished. Nor. Come on. Sir. That would work. Ewan. Sirs. Nis. Idan. Nif of yeah. Oh. Rin. Oh, run. Of course I could have run. Yeah. This is where you're probably looking at it and thinking, oh my gosh, why can't you see that? Door. Knit. Okay. I've got to get some more on here. These ones only have 2. Starting to worry a little bit. Tiff. Lif. I think tiff is 2 Fs. And lif I don't think is a word. Yeah, it's a simple enough game in that if you actually had to, you could probably just look at every possibility. Like here, there's 1, 2 times 2 times 2, but it doesn't take that long to scan. I mean, for 8 possible ways of making a word that way, and 8 times 9, so there's only 72 possible moves on any given turn. And so if you really were stuck, you could just go through all of them. Tit. Let's go for tit or lid. Lead. Boom! We are getting some more in the middle. That's what I like to see. And no. Racks. Rim. Okay. I'm going to try and get some better consonants on the end here. N is pretty good, but I don't want to be stuck with NZ. Even though din would be fine. Okay, so that's almost finished. This is almost finished. This is almost finished, and I've got 2 here. Ipen, yen. Oh, yen. Boom. Yen, the currency. Yet. Yes, I put down another one. Excellent. Okay, I feel like I'm doing fairly well. Stream Elements reminds me to turn around. Okay. O or C. Ron, Roth, Don. Is Don actually a word? Like Don Corleone, like, you know, a mafia boss. Is that actually a word, or is that just a sort of... And is... I do... Actually, that's quite a nice thing, because if I put a T-O-T for tot, then I could have act. So, or... That seems like a nice... Or indeed, och. I'm assuming that och is a word. Oh, apparently Don is good. Thanks, Rob. And I decided not to go with it anyway, because I'm trying to equalize. Okay, so I really need some more here and a couple more here. Okay, I'm almost finished. Rim, low, lom, tom, toe, of course, toe. There we go, toe. And it's funny how, like, you think that's just with 3-letter words, it's going to be obvious, but it's not actually obvious, at least not to me. Hey, wait a minute, I just realized that. By the way, let me know which view is better. Is this view better or the previous view? Because, Yeah, this view you don't see the tops of the cards. This view you don't see the bottoms of the cards. Maybe I need to, yeah, maybe this was just... Whoops. Now it's worse. Sorry about this, everyone. Just trying to make things better. One day, when I'm in Thailand, I will get myself a proper overhead camera, and that would be cool. Okay, I think... Okay, there, now you can see everything. Okay, let's see. So I need one... Most of these places have one left. So 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 3, and 2. So I really need to focus on this one. What's going on here? Dots. Okay, so let's just make sure that I get my cards here. Rots. Okay, boom. Okay, rem. Do I want... This feels like not a good card, and wherever I put it, that's going to be my... Oh no, unless I put it here, and era, that could be a word. Era is definitely a word. And let me finish off the top left bit with bra. N or B seem like good letters to... Nan or ban. Boom. Yeah, I think... Wait a minute. Yeah, let's go with that. I'm just... Pon, po, ban. Let's go with that. Woo. Yeah, let's go with... You're going to woo somebody. Oh, that might have been a mistake. Thankfully, I've got another W. And woo, W-O-O, whereas N-A or B-A still gives me a lot of options. I'm really thinking about what the options for the last 3 cards are. Pa, pay, pla, ale, boom. Oh, I'm so happy I managed to get that middle one. This might be a perfect game. Par, yep. Doing well, I'm still under par. And nal, ba. I don't think is nay a word? N-A-E. I'm going to double check that. N-A-E, like... Yep, it is a word. Nay. So, that is how you play on the easy mode. And so as you see, it was quite a quick game. I don't know exactly how long it was. I should have probably done a quick check, but you've got an idea of how it works. You can play this game on your own now. It doesn't tax the mind too much. I find myself winning it a lot more often than not. It's more of... There's definitely a challenge. There's definitely a possibility of... There's definitely a possibility of sort of getting stuck and finding that, oh my gosh, I didn't think ahead enough, and now I've got to put down cards and I just cannot. And so it's not totally trivial. Give it a go. Hopefully you might enjoy it, but I like... Yeah, let me get back to my... Rob played along. You won, but you repeated letter on letter several times. And so, yeah, that is where you get into hard mode. Hard mode is that you can never put the same letter on top of another letter. And if your brain's tired, sometimes you don't want something that you're going to lose. I mean, so I guess you had your deck with you and you were just playing at the same time, and it took you approximately the same time as it took me to play. I'm glad that you did, and I hope that you enjoyed it. So let's see. So yeah, firstly, I am very biased. I already talked about that. How did I make it? I how does it play? You've got an idea. And oh, I was meant to change the banner to say I was playing it. And so how did I get on with it? Okay, let me actually just, at this point, you might think, Bez, why are you even bothering to share the screen? We could all read the thing ourselves, and that is 100% true. So, but regardless, let me let me share the screen here. Like all my games, I have this little bit that talks about the credits and thanks and history. And I really should have put May 2017. I mean, that would have, but I'm glad I did, because honestly, reading some of this bits this morning, I'd forgotten about this. I think it's really interesting and kind of poetic that the first game I ever played with a published tile deck, it wasn't one of the games that's already existed. It was something brand new. And so I got this deck, and what was my response? Well, I want to play a solitaire game. Puzzle is a bit too intense for me today. I want to play something really simple. Maybe I'll make up something to. And then I played it, and then I had an interview where I was going to volunteer at Queen Elizabeth Park. I think that's the name of the park. I'm going to admit that, yeah, I never actually ended up doing anything at Queen Elizabeth Park, long story, but it was entirely because of me not finding times that kind of aligned with it. It's a nice system. It's basically, if you want to be a friend of the park, you can go over and help out. Anyway, while I was waiting I was one of the first people to arrive. I'd cycled over. I wanted to make sure I was in good time. I had maybe 20 minutes, and I found this to be a nice game. I can play it. You don't need too much table space. You need space enough for 3 cards to go down. I've played this on the train. I played it when I was going to Cannes sometimes, and it's like, yeah, this is quite a nice wee game. It's short enough that you can play it on a quick train trip. It's easy enough that I don't have to worry about it. These days, I'd probably prefer to play portable if I was on a train, especially since I once missed a train due to playing a game. But it's interesting. Anyway, so originally it was a placeholder thing, and 2018, some people, and shout outs to Fabio Loppiano, Peter Buchan Simmons, Drew Richards, Andy Angu, Ellie Amane, and of course David Brain and Paul Mansfield always help out quite a bit. And Rob says, yes, I played it at the same time. That's pretty good for a quick, patient solitaire game. We'll probably play a bit more now I've tried it. Would you play it on a train? Would you play it on a plane? Can you play it on a chair? Yes, you can play it anywhere. That should be an exclamation mark at the end, but I very much like it. I think at the start, I had to think, I was worried that just going for 3 letter words would be too difficult. I was worried that, okay, now that it's 3 letter words, do I need to allow the diagonal? Do I need to allow the top to bottom? Do I need to allow that diagonal? And then it was like, okay, let's just not allow the diagonals. Let's see how easy it is. And I think part of my mind was, I'm enjoying this, but are other people enjoying this? Is this even worth writing the rules for? And it's all good. But I think part of the testing process was, yes, having the ability to only play orthogonally left to right, top to bottom. I'm not going to say that there isn't an unwinnable thing. Of course, if you got, let's say, the first 14 cards don't have any vowels at all, well, then you're scuppered. But what's the chances of that happening? I haven't worked it out, but it's quick enough that, frankly, if you've got literally 14 cards, there's more than half the deck has vowels on it. I if would Y count as a vowel? I'm just wondering. If you, and yeah, even if you don't count Y, I think it's 25 out of 48 cards have vowels on them. So yes, there is an unwinnable state, but that wasn't a problem for people. That the fact that there's hypothetically an unwinnable state, I don't even see that as a bad issue. When it's okay, you see 9 cards, there's literally no vowels, and you're like, okay, well, I'll just, yeah. I think that's it. It's how much of a problem is it? And then the second thing is, how did it change? I say in the rules, these rules were written in June 2018. They continued, pardon my language, they continue to be tested, improved, and diagrams will be added at some point in the future. As you can see, I never actually added diagrams, which was slightly sad. I did get these people, Fabio, Peter, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 people blind tested it. That seems enough to say, yeah, the rules are fine. It's a simple enough game. In this version, I feel like I really should. Yeah. What should I change? I should just improve the rules. I should get that little illustration here. I should get Chris to actually make some diagrams here to have. It's interesting how simple the rules are that they don't even need all of one page. They need the left side. But as soon as you see these big letters, that's probably a bit of a, whoa, what's going on? And it makes it look a bit more complicated than it is. If there were cards off to the side with arrows saying, okay, instead of saying Joss draws IL and puts it on top of IB, if there was like a little card with an arrow, then it goes, okay, that's where it's going. Yep, L, that becomes lip, and that becomes rip. And I do think that the game, to a certain extent, maybe I need a bit more willingness to do that final part. And I think this is a key thing. When I am, the L deck is a weird one. Until a game is actually mass produced, there's not a lot of pressing obligation on me to say, you need to have the diagrams available now. And that is kind of a problem. Like when I talk about like who published this, like, yeah, it was published in 2017, and that I think the rules were available. Like the rules were definitely available in 2018, and you could find them publicly. Is it published at this point? What does published even mean? And if for the book, when I have 26 of my favorite tile deck games, this would definitely be one of them. Do I still play it? Yeah, I occasionally play it just to say, it's something when I'm sitting down, I've got 20 minutes, yeah, it's really difficult for me I'm not doing a good job of reviewing my own game. This is the thing, like, is it good? Is it not good? It's so hard for it. I have that bias of understanding the rules more innately because I was the one who designed it. B, because I designed it, it might be designed more to my personal tastes. And C, because I designed it, I have that investment. There's the endowment effect. Let's not be dismissive of the fact that the cognitive bias the endowment effect has on you. Like once I've worked on a game for, if you're a designer, if you've worked on a game for a year, or if you've worked on a game for even 10 minutes or an hour, let's be honest, at a certain point, you're going to say, well, I actually quite enjoy this game. Well, I've spent all this time on it. It can't be that bad. And Yeah, the same way that if you spend money on something, you might be more likely to appreciate it than if it was just given to you for free. It depends very much on your personality. But in the same way that as a designer, you need to be willing to let go of your tastes and say, okay, you know what? This game, it's good, but it's never going to be published. It's not worth mass producing. I'm going to stop working on it. Like, what's that game? I think it was 2015 1A. Like that's a game that I'm proud of. And you can check it up on Board Game Geek if you're curious. 2015.1.a. I talk a little bit about that. That's my card playing, people moving around on a map, special abilities, triggering special abilities. I sometimes think about that. I sometimes think, could I get this to work? But right now, if I'm being honest, the bit that turns me off about it is the fact that it's just a generic bunch of magical people or vaguely colonialist theme. That doesn't seem cool. And so sometimes you're able to take that distance. But yeah, I do play it occasionally. I do play it a few times as a source of relaxation. And I think, who is it good for? It's good for someone who maybe doesn't want their brain to be. I almost certainly did say boggled. Doesn't want their brain to be truly tested. Like stressed. Let's say stressed. You don't want your brain to be stressed. You don't want to be under too much pressure. It's even in hard mode. Once you've played it a few times, I reckon you're going to win. And if you've not already, try it on hard mode. If you are, sometimes you just want to try it on easy mode and ease yourself into it. What I love? Yeah, I love the fact that it is simple to set up. Like right now, if I want to set it up, shuffle the cards, boom, ba-boom, ba-boom, and then boom, I could be playing this within, how many seconds was that? I don't know, 20 seconds. There's something lovely about a quick setup game. I do love the fact that it's exclusively about 3-letter words. Not about 2-letter words, not about 4-letter words. The fact that it's exclusively about 3-letter words makes me think that it does give it a slightly different feel to any other thing. And yeah, let me go through one more time a quick little game, this time on hard mode. And you can play along. So, bin. I'm going to think about this a little bit more. So N or D, that's a great word, a great pair of letters to have in the corner. Rid. Yep, I think that is one of the few places where it makes sense to put that. Or I could put dry or sir. But I'm going to put it there for now. Rot. Boom, that's what I was hoping would happen. Vowel, and make sure that my vowels are used well. Remember, I've got more than half the deck as vowels, but you know, when you've got a vowel, you possibly want to use it on the, well, that I don't want to be telling you all the strategies. Free shall be the count, and the count shall be free. Indeed, never more, never less. That's the way, I confess. Rod. Okay. High. Head? No. Ode. Oh, Ben. Oh, Ben. Let me double check that Ben, like Ben Nevis, you know, a hill. Let me double check it's in the dictionary. It should be in the dictionary if it's not. Okay, phew. Wait a minute. Why is it not? Ben isn't. Oh, it says a mountain peak. It was just further down the definition list. Okay, bet. Oh, Anstai. Dawn. Yep, we've already established that dawn is a fine word. And yeah, putting consonants in the middle means that I can be a little bit more flexible with the vowels later on. So it's always good to put them I don't like sod. Oh, sod, like the bits of the earth. Or sin, yeah. Sid, no, I can't. So this time I can't put the sir here. Even though I'm using the R, I just cannot put a D on top of a D. I can't. Her. Yep, her. Boom. Ice. Sid. Sid. No, that's not a word. Bit. Yep, Bitcoin, or chew off a bit more than you can eat. Bites off a bit more than you can chew. That's what the saying is. None. Nun. Okay, here's where I need to start thinking about equalizing. Now that some of them have free, make sure that I get one here. Sen. Yep. Can't put it there. Kig, no. This might be the first one that I need to throw away. Son. I can't find a place to put this. Maybe I'm missing something. Don't tell me yet. Don't tell me yet. Once I've thrown it away, you can all tell me how I got it wrong. And I'm actually going to go onto Twitch to change this into the board game section. Although I don't think that's going to change anything, but probably should change it more often to be board games. I can't. Sorry. Board games. Okay. We are officially talking about board games. And thank you for being for lurking. I really appreciate that. Rob, thank you very much. Sog. Is sog a word? Oh no, I can't put it here. I can't put it here, so let's see. I don't think there's anything there. I don't think there's yeah. I really don't think there is anything that's nog. Oh, nog. A bit of eggnog, like the drink. I think that's a word. Let me double check. A drink. Wait a minute. So eggnog is a tautology, apparently. So a drink containing beaten egg is just called nog. You don't need to call it eggnog. There you go. And apparently in Eastern Anglia, it's a strong local beer. There you go. I will admit that it is a lot easier if you've got a computer to double check the thing. Sog, but it depends again. How do you want to play? Bug. Well, bug is definitely a word. I'm actually interested to know whether sog would have been allowed. S-O-G. Yep, it is a piece of boggy land. Bug. Okay, I need to get some more card. Yep, it's pretty even. Tug. I could go for or a butt or a hit. Let's go for a hit. Oh, let's go for a tit and keep it a bit more equalized. And let's go for a tie. His. Okay, so that one is on 4. And remember, when you put down your 5th card, it is locked in. So am I happy with this being an AM? I think I am, because him, and then I could go ham, I could go tag or lag or fag or rag or any sorts of things, or mag if I wanted. Seb, mim, oh, C, that feels good to me. Set, am I happy with that as a final letter? I think I am. Boom, I think I'm doing well. Sot. Sob. Let's sob. Try. Oh, I've only got 2 here and here. I really need to put on some more cards here. This is not going so well. Net, that's a good one. Let's concentrate here a wee bit. Him. Oh, I can't put that because of the H on the H. Okay, how about ton? I think that's the American spelling, but it still works. T-O-N. Okay, I am going to... Yep, that is indeed... So apparently a ton is £2,240 in Britain and £2,000 in the USA. There you go. That is mildly interesting. 2. Oh wait, I'm going to move that. Oh no, either way, there's... Yep, I think I'm going to put that here. Tor, hat. Yep, because this is, I feel like I've lined this up really well. So if I can put things elsewhere, I am going to. Ham. Boom, finally. Ham. Nam. Though. I can't put it there. I can't put it there. That's problematic. Own. Yep, I can put it down here. And I could go back to O. O-W-E. I think I am very happy with this because I can imagine quite a few words running down, running left. And so, met. Yep. Wait a minute. This is only on 2. I really need to fill in this one. So let's go with here. Ram. Dam. Okay, everything is fairly balanced. I'm doing quite well. Yeah. IQ. Do I even want to put this down? Because I am allowed to throw away 3 things. And hello, Stefan. Thank you for joining me. So I am playing this on difficult mode, which is still a fairly simple game. This is a simple... let me actually change the banner. This is what I'm playing, a simple word game about 3-letter words. So every card that I put down has to be a 3-letter word running left to right or top to bottom. Dim. Dim could be a word, but then I've got... I think that's okay. Dim. And once I've got 5 in a pile, then I've completed that pile. Pet. Boom. Wait a minute. Can I think of... Yep, an I here could work. Hopefully I've still got an I. Or an A for tap. Yep. There's a couple of options that I want to make sure that when I finish a pile, I'm still able to put other things on. Or top. There you go. Top. Or oat. Okay, I think this is going to be the most difficult one. So as soon as I can do this one, I will do it. Let me put down O for oat. O-A-T. Oh, this is... Oh, rim. But if I put down rim, now I cannot think of anything that would go top to bottom. I think it's still worth putting down because I've only got 2 piles to go. 2 piles to go. I've not gotten rid of any cards. Let's see what happens. Tau. Oh, or I could do R. Okay, Yep, I'm going to do... If I do that, what could go here? I could have L for lie. I could have D for die. I could have T for tie. I'm going to go put it here and hope that I've got at least something good. There, L for lie. Boom. Another perfect game. I'm quite chuffed with that. Out of curiosity, I could have done P for pie as well. I completely forgot about that. But yeah, that is the game on hard mode. As you can see, this is still a fairly simple game. And that brings me to, what do you think that a typical win percentage should be? In a solitaire game, if you think that, do you enjoy a game where you know you're probably going to win? Because sure, some people say, well, I want to have 50% chance of winning. And some people are like, well, if I'm winning all the time, what's the point in playing it? And even if you are playing the game, you've still got to have that little bit of your mind thinking. And of course, not everyone is as good at word games as I am. So frankly, if I am winning the most of the time, maybe for someone who, and I find it relaxing, I find it's not trivial. It's easy, but it's not trivial. That's how I find it. That's pretty much everything that I've got to say about it. Unless anyone else has any questions, this is going to be a relatively short show. So, yep, to recap, this is Playsabell. It is a simple word game about 3-letter words for one player. Let me look at the instructions and talk about, the time does vary a lot. I wonder, 7 to 18, is that correct? I didn't time those two games that I just played, although I could easily double check them. But I did find that when I was playing or when I was watching other people play, it's always tended to be around that. Sometimes it was 7, it depends how you play. And does a time, like, what do you think people, do you want a more precise time? And for me to just say, hey, this is about 10 to 15 minutes. Should I really? Like right now, if I were rewriting this, I probably would put 10 to 15 minutes. Bear in mind, I've not rewritten these rules since 2018, I believe. You will take cards one at a time, placing each onto a 3x3 grid. Each card you place should be part of a new 3-letter word. If you manage to place a 5th card onto each pile, you win. I like that overview. It doesn't have any theme in there, but that basically tells you the entirety of how the game works. I shuffled the deck. Maybe there could have been a little, I guess people know what a 3x3 grid looks like, but it makes me wonder, is it better to have spread this out and have the example on the other side of the page? Does this example on the second column make it look too intimidating? Each turn, take a card. Take the top card of the deck. I probably would have italicized this bit. Yeah, and maybe here I would mention that you are covering it, although the word should use 1 letter from the topmost leftmost card, 1 letter from the card directly below or to the right, and 1 letter from the bottom card in the column or rightmost card in the row. And yeah, hopefully 3-letter word running left to right or top to bottom, that includes a new card. Hopefully that explains everything. Diagonals are not allowed. That bit could have also been italicized. That is more like reminder text. I would probably maybe make the italicized reminder text 1 point space smaller. Maybe I would I guess I was planning to put some sort of picture of a completed pile with 3 things, and would I do that or would I just make the text a bit bigger? If you cannot discard it. So you will work through all the cards, one card at a time. This bit, you're allowed to remake words. That doesn't seem very precise. I would think about how to, and this is with my hat on with 2 years and a bit of hindsight. Sorry, maybe I'll make it a wee bit bigger so that in case people... I think some people enjoy the fact that it's likely to win eventually. At least I do. And I like it, says Stefan regarding the rules. You read the rules and immediately can see an example to the right. You're allowed to remake words. I don't know if there's a better way to say this. You are allowed to make this a word you have already made. Maybe that's a better word. You're allowed to make a word you have already made. But I know that I was really thinking hard about how many lines things took. If you cannot or don't want to place the card, you may discard it. Work for all the cards one card at a time. If you ever place the 5th card onto a pile, turn the other 4 upside down and sideways underneath to show that you have successfully finished this pile. No more cards can be placed onto a finished pile. Yeah, is this self-explanatory or do I need a picture? Everyone was able to work it out, but then the people I tested it with were gamers. So yeah, I probably would try to put in a little thing there. Alternatively, maybe that could come in on the examples on the right, where cards are going down, and make sure that's one of the plate. Because then I could what I did with Kitty Cataclysm, just to show you, which I think works quite nicely. So I stuck with the same 2-column system, but this column tells you exactly how to play, and then this column is a bit more, okay, I'm going to tell you all the exact same rules, but just in a little bit more detail in case you want to be a rules lawyer, let's call it. I'm happy with these rules as a basis. I just think that it's slightly sad that they haven't been updated, and I think this is a problem with... Yeah, I feel slightly shameful that I've not given it the time that it deserves to actually... You understand that these mean cards. Hopefully you understand that this is the EL card, and this is draws IL and places it on top of NB. But yeah, for sure, if I need to just get Chris to... Chris has got the files for the cards. Hey, Chris, make some things. Sort this out, Chris. Yeah, to be fair, it was only... I want to say Chris has been working for me for just over a year. This feels like the sorts of thing that I should start getting Chris to do, because clearly I've taken too long over it. And then on the other side of the page, I always try to have additional information. And thank you, Stream Elements. I'm going to remember to do a quick jiggle and wiggle. Okay. Yeah. Maybe try to place each card further away from the center than the one before it. Maybe place each card. This, I don't know. I feel like this is overcomplicating it, possibly. And with this, it definitely wants some sort of... Yeah, it definitely wants a diagram. And I think harder mode should have been the first thing. For harder challenge, add this rule. You may not place a letter on top of itself. Yeah, reminding you that Collins Dictionary is my favorite dictionary. And yeah, you can look up words. If you are not a native English speaker, then try it in English. If you are playing another language, like maybe that's what I should do. You know what? Is there a good French dictionary online that I could just type random words into? Or even better, maybe I should just use Google Translate and type random three-letter things into French to English and see, hey, is this a word? That would be quite a nice way to learn. I don't know that many three-letter French words. I would really struggle with that. It's actually, yeah, and if I don't, and maybe a little tip to say, hey, if you don't manage to win, then your score is the lowest number of cards that is on any pile. So if you've got 4 cards, well, you've scored 4 points, and 5 points is a proper victory. But do I even want to go there? Just, I would, that's probably a house rule that I would be thinking in my own mind if I'm playing it in French or something like that. Yeah, there is a lot of three-letter words in English, but I don't know that many three-letter words in French. I'm honestly trying to think about that. Moi, ton, les. Yeah, I would just spend an hour playing that, and actually, that would probably be quite tiring, just typing random things, thinking, oh, is this a word? Is this a word? Is this a word? But maybe I'll learn what they mean. Anyway, I am proud of this section, how I except that I should have mentioned it was in May 2017 that I started, but I'm happy that I say, yeah, all these people, they helped, and I think it's, look, I think David Brain and Paul Mansfield, they didn't really do anything, but they they're continuing to just support me and help me with everything regarding the L deck, and that probably seeped particularly into this game, and I showed it to David at some point. It wasn't so much a test as it was, hey, check out this game. And I think I would like more games to have this whole, hey, this is who invented it, and this is how I made it, and this is how it changed. And anyway, so conclusions again. Yeah, you've already heard. I was just fiddling around with a free. Yeah, I'm just repeating myself at this point. I do like the fact that it concentrates on a specific length of word. I like the fact that because it is easy, I am going to now think, you know what, maybe I will play it in French and see how I get on. What don't I like? It can be a little bit big. So I know 3x3, it's not that much, but if you're in a public train in the UK, trains normally, I'm taking up, okay, on a big train, I'm not taking up that much space, but on a wee train, where there's like a middle section, normally the middle section is about this big, so I'm basically taking up way more than my fair share, and then I might feel guilty about it, and the cards might be sort of coming off the edge, which isn't ideal. But yeah, maybe at some point there will be a deck that is half the size. I don't think the game should change. I think it's a good game. And I think I should get Chris to, yeah, that's my conclusion. I should get Chris to put in some diagrams next Wednesday. Yeah. I mean, I hope that, tell me in the comments, if you've got an L deck, Rob, did you play along with the hard mode? Stefan, do you have an L deck? Do you feel inspired to play the game? Do you feel like it would be something that you would enjoy? And that is the end of my show for today. So thank you everyone who's been watching. You have all been lovely. And let me get Yep. So what have I been doing? I played a game. I played it on easy mode, I chatted about it, I played it on difficult mode, I chatted about it a bit more. I won both times, I managed to win with a perfect score. I was quite chuffed with that. But yeah, I also wonder at what age it would be suitable to play. I think this would be the next stage of getting better instructions, would be to open it, ask people to try it at different ages, like get children. Maybe I think I'm feeling like 8 years old, maybe 7. Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking around that age was probably suitable, but it feels like it's appropriate to maybe ask people to say, hey, if you've got children, I'd like you to try it with them and tell me how they get on. So yeah, that has been the end of the show. Where can someone in Europe get an L deck? So the physical decks are, oh, I should put links in the thing. So firstly, please, if you are on Twitter, please do follow the LDeck Twitter. That is where you might see stuff by, this is basically all by Chris. Chris on Friday does this where there's free story elements, and so the first story element here was elongated night, inconsistent light. What's the third story element? And sometimes there's Wibble, where you're trying to make a word that uses a letter from each card. So if you just, easy mode is the top 4, so I would go solitary. Does that actually work for? So that doesn't work for all 7. And so if you can think of another word that uses an A or a J, and an I or a Q, and an S or an H, and an O or a C, so you are allowed to use any additional letters you want. There's, yeah, sometimes categorical. Oh no, that we've changed it to phrasal, which is explain something about swans, RLNB, in any order. I think I came up with lazy bird now roaming. No, that wasn't what I came up with, but I should type that. That's a good one. And so, yeah, please check that out. Anyway, where you can buy it is a difficult one. It isn't currently available physically. It is sold out. I have the categorical deck that's coming up in the near future. So the categorical deck is going to have letter shapes that look a little bit more like that. And I would be very interested to hear what people think of these letter shapes. They are potentially final. This might, I'm thinking I slightly prefer the coloring here, which is a bit more rigid, to the coloring here, which, if you can notice, I did the yellow and a bit more scumbled. But here I kept more solid yellow line. But categorical is going to come out as soon as I can, and I would advise you all to get that. Alternatively, if you are willing to do a print and play, if you are willing to cut out 48 cards, you can currently get it until it's back in stock in physical format. I am putting all the print and play decks for half price, which means you can get the deluxe version for £2.50, or you can get the Comic Sans version for 50p. So yeah, if you have enjoyed it, then get it for literally 50p. And that is stuffbybears.bigcartel.com. There we go. That is the link. And then you go to the print and play products, and yeah. If you want to check out the rules for this and other LDEC games, then I do suggest you go to stuffbybez.com/L, which will redirect you to the Google Drive, which will take you over here. And just to clarify, the games at the top, so BBBB and Visibel down to Wibble, those are what I consider the best ones. Then the ones with two lines on, yeah, I should probably take away the 2 lines. Those were from last year's runners-up. Well, and then the rest are just games that I have made, and so Playsable is what you are looking at. Portable is possibly I really like Quintuple. Maybe I'll talk about Quintuple next week. But yeah, that is where you can get it. Oh, I'm glad that... Wait a minute, I thought that I typed that into the... Oh, sorry, I did type it in. Sorry for double posting that. I do apologise, everyone, I'm spamming my own chat. But yeah, that is the end of the show. If you want to check me out, then yeah, stuffbybez.com. Sorry. Stuffbybez.com, stuffbybez.bigcurtle.com, twitter.com/stuffbybez, instagram.com/stuffbybez, twitch.tv/stuffbybez. I am streaming every morning at 10 a.m. UK time for the next 81 days. YouTube.com/stuffbybez has the older episodes, and please do join my Discord where you can talk about cats or LDEC games, ask more about this, talk about game design, and there will be some game jams in the not too distant future. Although when I say game jams in the not too distant future, I'm thinking like maybe when I come back from my break, maybe in like 3 months or 4 months. That seems like a good amount. And I'll also have a Bez and Friends game day at some point. Maybe that'll be when I come back also. So yeah, thank you everyone. You have all been lovely. And it is, of course, over to you. What are you up to? You can share anything you want to. So if you want to share something exciting, something that you have to do, something that you're looking forward to doing, something that's boring or frivolous or serious, let us know. And woo, ha, whoop, bam. Hello, Rob. Welcome back. I hope you had a good lurk. And what did you get up to? Did you play difficult mode? But I'm assuming you had your own real life stuff to be doing. But what are we doing today? Today I am going to probably be listening to more podcasts whilst walking around. I'll listen to a couple of podcasts that I'm not going to name just because reasons. And then I also caught up in the past couple of days with 10-minute design chat, which I am very biased about. I've now listened to all of them. I will say that it's nice for an intro-level designer. If you're watching this, you probably know all the things already. But, again, it's kind of nice to be reminded of all these things. It's a fun show. They've got a fun little introduction. And each episode, they talk about one thing. For example, conventions. I went as a guest, and I think one of the episodes we talked about game systems. One episode we talked about, I really can't remember. I think it was I really can't remember what the second thing. But when you're recording this, it's like you try to finish within 10 minutes, and it's such a fun rush, and it is a really good thing. And yeah. Anyway, I listened to that. I caught up with that. I listened to Breaking Into Board Games. That's still a good show. And I am currently making my way through games in schools and libraries. I'm about 2 years behind, so I'm going to catch up. So yeah, that is what I am probably up to, and probably also having a wee bit of a nap, maybe doing some reading. I'm going to be taking it easy. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be taking it easy. I've got a bit of a headache. I'm not feeling too great, but I'm feeling okay. I am coping, in case you worry. So don't worry about me. I'm generally okay. Rob says, just needed to sort a few things around the house. That's totally fair. Maybe difficult mode can be something that you give a go of at some point in the future. It does definitely require a lot more thinking ahead. And enjoy that bread. That's, you know what? I might, I'm not, I think I am going to have some bread, put it in the toaster, put a little bit of olive oil on it, and then put some peanut butter. There's some special fancy peanut butter which has no sugar at all, which is really nice, but it's still got a little bit, it's basically just peanuts, oil, and salt. So it's really good stuff anyway. That is what I am up to. If anyone else has anything else to share, feel free to let me know. If you're watching this and you're watching this after the fact, let me know. What are you up to? Are you inspired to try this game? And if you are watching this live and you're wondering what's going on with Bez, who is Bez going to talk to in the next few days? Well, let me tell you, tomorrow I am chatting to Brian Slattery about workplace board game cafes, which is not something I can ever imagine. Well, yeah, I don't think I can see myself. No, actually, yeah. I mean, to have not just a board game library, but a board game cafe, that's pretty intense, isn't it? Anyway, let me actually get rid of that. On Tuesday, I'm going to be chatting about the form of iteration, what iteration involves. We'll be iterating on the concept of iteration with myself, Matthew Dunstan, Rita Modell, and Alan Paul. In the evening, every Tuesday, there's a second stream at 8 p.m. UK time. Balanceable, a tricky word game with the L deck. You can play along as you've got pencil and paper or some method of typing letters, which might be a Word document. But I find it more enjoyable with a bit of paper. It doesn't need to be very big. On Wednesday, I'll be having Peter Blenkhorn, Scott Moore, Harley Truslove, and Paul Stapleton. So I should actually put Harley's full name into the thing. And sorry, Harley, there we go. And yeah, talking about game books, and we'll be sharing our favorite game books. We'll be talking about how they can be improved for the audience. On Thursday, I'll be meeting Oliver Kinna, which I'm really looking forward to. I mean, I've met them in real life, we've chatted, but we've never had a proper sit down for hours. And that's something that Friendly Friday Forum on Friday, that's just going to be me probably. And if you want to jump in, then please do so. Yeah, Friendly Friday Forum, as long as I know you, as long as I recognize your name, just jump in and we can chat for however long you want. You can jump in, jump out, just please don't shout, and mute yourself if you're making too much noise when you're not talking. Saturday, mentoring Dutch Yoda, and Sunday I said I would review something, and I'm thinking that I might do another L deck. Maybe I'll do Quintuple. I feel like playing that. That would be a nice game. Yeah. That feels like the second easiest, that feels like the second simplest word game. So I'll probably go with that. Solo game. So yeah, that's what I'm doing over the next week. If any of that sounds interesting, then please share, spread the word. And, oh my God. Oh my gosh. We're going to build a new garden table in a few minutes. That sounds amazing. I missed that. I totally missed that bit. I was listening to an early Pointless Parrot yesterday. It was late 2019, and Emma and guest were talking all about the great things planned for 2020. I so wanted to give them a hug from the future at that point. Yeah. Hello, Alex. I'm just finishing up. And yeah, lots of love to everyone. Harper Rob is lovely. Hearts for Rob. I will agree with that. Anyway, yep. Share, spread the word. Sorry, you're just in time for me to do a quick raid. I could do a quick, I could do an extended song if you like. I'm not going to bring out the keyboard, but... Oh, by the way, you know what I might do? I might read the rules to a game that I got paid money to read the rules for and make a song about. I think I need to increase my prices slightly. I think it needs to depend on familiarity with the game, but anyway, so yeah, I think I will do that. But yeah, you just reminded me of that. Ah, is it to want and see you? Asks Rob. You're such a troll. You're such. Ah, no, 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 it's not. Okay, so, oh my gosh, are there? Okay, so there's only 5 people streaming, but there's Avivor. How do I pronounce it? Aviv. So who's co-creator of up to 4 players with Aran. Anyway, so that's who we're going to read. I think I've never actually watched live before, so that's exciting. So shout out to Aviv or creator of and Alex says, does the publisher have to ask you to make a song? No. Anyone's allowed, and I would probably reduce the price for someone who isn't a publisher. It will be at least my price is a minimum of £20 if I know the game very well, but I'm still working out how much I need to charge based on how much effort it is and how much I enjoy it. But yeah, if you have a game that you want me to make a song about, then feel free to suggest something. And yeah, I don't know what game you have in mind, but if it's a game that I have actually played, then it's likely to be a better song. Honestly, that's kind of what I was hoping for originally. Let me get rid of that raid banner because also spread the word about that. If you know anyone who would like, I mean, maybe, I don't know, maybe you just have a game that you really love and you're like, hey, I really want Bez to make a song about Race for the Galaxy. I've only played that game 3 times, but I understand the game. I understand it well enough. Although there is already a song all about Race for the Galaxy, but sure. Or maybe it's like, hey, like I'm trying to think of a game that's like, yeah, like someone's like, hey, I really love this game. This is a game that me and my partner play all the time, and it's a personal thing, and maybe that will be a nice thing. And then, I mean, yeah, maybe you just want to make that song yourself, but yeah, if you wanted to get me to make a song, or if you wanted to say, hey, here's a song for, hey, you made this game, and my friend made this game, and I think I would charge, yeah, I'm still not certain about my pricing, but it won't be very much. Anyway, so unless anyone else has any questions, that is the end of the show. And so for now, lots of love. I might play that in French. I might make up a song. I will probably have another walk. It's actually a lovely day. It's beautiful. I hope it's lovely where you are. Whatever you're up to, wherever you are, lots of love. And for now, you know the drill, live people. Feel free to play some of that message. Bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. And bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for a long Bye, 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 bye. I'll reference the Eldek in this song. Bye, 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 bye. I talked about a word game. Bye, 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 bye. And Placeable was its name. Bye, 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 bye. Oh, thank you. Thank you for watching, Stefan. It was lovely to have you. Bye, 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 bye. 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 Bye.